Welcome back to Office 365 Insight. Today we're going to talk about Microsoft 365 Group. If you are following my videos, we are completed with the custom domain and how we can, manage the user management. So if you would like to watch that video, I will put down the link on my description. Now today we're going to cover what all about Microsoft 365 Group. So again, this is a very powerful collaboration feature in Microsoft 365 that enables teams to work together effectively. And when you create a Microsoft 365 group, it automatically creates, shared mailbox, shared calendar, SharePoint document library, planner, things like that. So without wasting any more time, let's dive into it. Alright, so the very first thing which we're going to do is to open up our favorite browser. I'm going to use Google Chrome and we'll visit admin.microsoft.com. Please remember this URL because that will help us to administrate everything in Microsoft 365. Now on the left hand side panel you'll see the option called user, teams and group, roles, so on and so forth. I've already covered the user part. If you want, you can go back to my channel and watch the user management video which covers everything about all these four options. Today we're going to talk about teams and groups, and specifically about the active teams and groups. Now once you click on this, you see three options. Of course, the first one is Teams and Microsoft 365 Groups. The other one is the distribution list, and the third one is the security group. So we are not going to cover these two options right now. I'm just going to focus on the Teams and Microsoft 365 Groups. So let's see. Now here you see two options. When you click on that, you get an option called add a team, and the other one is add a Microsoft 365 group. Now you may be thinking what exactly the difference between these two. So please keep in mind both options help us to create a Microsoft 365 group. The only difference between these two is the add a team option. It will allow us to create a group with the teams connected to that group. As you can see, the one which I have created earlier, now this particular group has Microsoft Teams already connected, wherein the other one called add a Microsoft 365 group does not have that Teams connected to it. But that does not mean that you can't connect it later on if you want to. So for example, for any reason you created Microsoft 365 group and later on you realize that you have to add the teams on that group, you'll simply open up here and you get the option to add teams. And once you click on that, it will simply go ahead and add the teams feature on that particular group. Now coming back to the add team option, we'll simply go ahead and click on this add team to create a group, and it will first of all it will ask us to create a name. So I'm going to select it, so let's do this headquarter US or UK, and we'll simply click on next. Now it will ask us to create a owner, add a owner here. So I'll simply put in my name as a owner and we'll click on next again. Now it will ask us to add the members. So in the list I have few members which I have created. So Aaron, Berlin and James. I'll add these three members. And now it will ask us to create an email with this group name. So I'll simply put HQ-UK. Now you can keep it whatever you want, it's up to you. Now here's the part that you really want to see and put some attention here. So under the privacy section you get two options called public, and if you hover this, it say people can join without the approval for the owner, and the other one says private, wherein the people needs the approval from the owner, or the owner can join the user into that group. Now what exactly I'm talking about, so I'll show you as an example. So if I open up my Outlook, which is here. Now if you remember, we created few groups, correct, in my past. So if I click on the groups option and click on discover group and simply search the group which I have created. Now if you see, these are a public group, so I'll simply get the option to join it, wherein if I search something called HQUS, now you can see this is a private group and it will give me the option to request to join. So if I click on this, oops, wait a sec, if I click on this, now it will ask me, please join me, and send it. Now this will send a request to the owner that a user, which is me, asking for the approval to join this US group. So something like that. Now if we're coming back to this, for sake of this example, I'm going to keep it public so anybody can join it, and simply click on next. Now we will review this. If everything looks good, we'll simply click on add team. The group has been created. We can click on close and we'll simply refresh this, and if you scroll it down, you'll see the HQ UK group has been created. Now if you open this, there are a lot of settings which you will gonna find it here. The first one is a general, will give you the general information. It also allow you to change the description and the site information. Now if you go to member, so here's a place wherein if you want to add any owner or member later, after creating this group, you'll simply come here as a global administrator, and it will allow you to add owner, it will allow you to add member, and this site visitor, that is for the SharePoint. Now here if you see the channel, now this is talking about the channel which you will see on the Teams group, which I'm going to show you how it works and how you can create a private channel inside that. And if you see the settings, now here there are a couple of settings which really allow you to make changes. For example, let people outside the organization email to this team. What does it mean? After creating this group, if you want the outside user, that means the people who are not using Microsoft product like Gmail or Yahoo, they can go ahead and send an email to this group. Or you can also select the option to send a copy of the team email and events on the team member inbox. So whatever the events and the changes which you're going to make, all the team member will going to receive an email in their inbox. Now this is a crucial part where it says external file sharing. Now when it comes to the SharePoint, it give you the option to share your files. So my tenant settings, wherein it simply picked up the default one, is new and existing guest. I'm going to show you what exactly it's talking about when we give you or show you the example of the SharePoint. And here the few teams channel option, wherein it says team member can add a channel and the existing channel as well, the team member can add and remove in the private channel. So things like that, you can always see this. Now here's the option which we can revert back in, just in case if we created a public group and later on if you want to switch it to private, which you can do it. The sensitivity level is something which falls under the information protection. So if you have set up that, then all of your files which you're going to create or which you're going to keep it under this group will follow the information protection. So now we have successfully created our the group, a Microsoft 365 group, which have the Teams access as well. Now the point is, how we're going to use it. We talked about that we can use a shared mailbox, we can use the shared calendar, shared document on the SharePoint site, real-time editing, and things like that. So let me quickly go and demonstrate how we can accomplish these things. Now, what I did, I simply click on the three, these dots and open up Outlook, which is right here with one of the admin account. And similarly, I do have few other user, which is like Aaron, which you can see here, and another user called Berlin Smith. So what I'm trying to demonstrate here is we are going to act that we are going to receive an email from one of our client. Let's assume that's the situation, and one of our customer or client sent an email to this HQ UK at matrixdatapro.com. Now once you receive it, which I've just sent it from my Google account from Gmail, let's wait for a minute. Once it arrives, okay, let's see, yep, here we go. Now you can see this email was sent from office365insight at gmail.com. Now let's assume for any reason me as Mohit Gupta is not available, but the other members like Aaron and Berlin is a part of this group. Now they will also going to receive the same email. So just clicking this refresh the inbox, you can see this is a Berlin's account, and he also received the same email. And similarly, if I go ahead and check Aaron's account and just refresh this, now you can see Aaron also received the same email. But please make sure that Aaron and Berlin, these two users are the member, wherein mine account, the admin account, is the owner of it. Now if you see that the delete option is not available for the member, because that's the settings we chose. Now similarly, if you see here, the delete option is available for Mohit. Now if I simply delete this, and if I simply click here and this just to refresh it, let's refresh it from here, and you can see it's gone. And similarly, it's gone from Aaron's account as well. We just need to refresh this to see the changes. You can see now it's in deleted item, and same goes with Berlin. So if I refresh this, now you can see it's gone from here as well. Let's talk about the shared calendar. Let's assume that in a scenario we have to discuss an important event or an important meeting, and you have to set up a meeting. In an ideal situation, obviously you can go to Outlook and set up a meeting, and then you have to select the members whom you want to join that meeting. But let's assume that you already created a group wherein you have all the users who are the part of the UK department, just a hypothetical situation, and you just have want all those person to be available on that meeting. So what are you gonna do? So again, I'm gonna come back to my admin account, which is this. I'll go to events, and I'll simply click on event. Now I'm gonna talk about like important update, something like this, and any random time. So I'm just gonna save this. Alright, now you can see an event has been created, which we're gonna start in next 41 minutes. So what is the benefit of having an event created inside a group? Now you guessed it right, the other user like Berlin and Aaron will automatically receive an update, the event update, that they have to join that meeting because they are the part of the group. Now if you go there, you can see that, right? Teams. So in a Teams, let me also show you really quick. So let's assume we have one of, I have opened up Teams here as well, how this group looks like in a Teams. So let's check it out. So this is Berlin's account, and if I go to Teams, now you see here headquarter UK. So this is how it looks like. So if you post something, uh, hi, or hi Berlin, we are testing, and if I post something, now similarly it will only going to post to those people who are the part of that group. So if I go back to Mohit and if I open up my Teams, just ignore that, let me just refresh it because I was performing a testing before I record this. And if you go to Teams here and if you go to UK, now you can see. So now you can simply acknowledge it, and similarly it can be replicated for other user. Now if you hover your mouse here, you will see the other apps which are available while you use Microsoft 365 groups, and one of them is called site, which is actually the SharePoint site. If I click on this, this will take me directly to the site which is created when we were creating the Microsoft 365 group. So don't get confused, because whenever you create a Microsoft 365 group, it also creates a SharePoint site as well. So this is what the basic site looks like. Now obviously you can either click on that, or if you want you can simply click on these three dots, and if you click on SharePoint, this will take you to the same place. And since you are the part of that group, you will have the access to that SharePoint right here. Now what exactly I'm going to try to show you is, let's assume that there's a requirement wherein we are going to update a particular Excel sheet or a document. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'll go to general. Now this is something which I'm performing with Berlin's account. Okay, so look very carefully. I've created a document. Now if I say created by Berlin, all right, I'm just waiting. Okay, this is autosave, and I'm going to close this. This account, this document is now saved. Now what if I go back to my account, and if I go to document, now remember I'm the same SharePoint site, and if I go to general, now I'm able to see that document which is created by Berlin. Now if I open it up, and let's assume I'm doing the changes in a real time, so I'll say created by Mohit. So let's assume there are a couple of members who are keep on updating their document. So you will see everything. Now if I go back to Berlin's account, okay, now here see the twist. If I open this up, now both user can update this document at the same time. Now if you see, if you hover your mouse, you will get to know that which person has access to this account. Now if you want, I can demonstrate. I can go to Aaron's account, and if I click on the SharePoint site, and again if I'm going to go to this option called documents, and now if I open up general, and again let's assume that three person are updating the document at the same time. So created by, now have a look which person is doing what. You will able to see it. Okay, once this is done, if you go back, here we go, it's updated on a real time. See, now I'm logged in as a Berlin. I know this might be confusing because I'm doing everything in a single computer, but I'm just trying to demonstrate that there are n number of people can edit a single document at the same time. It's not like that you have to wait for one to finish to update that document. Other than that, if this is seems very tedious task, to go to this that group SharePoint, it's hard to remember, then all you need to do, you'll find an option that's called sync. If you click on this, I'm just going to show you, although I have thing. So if you click on this, it will open up your OneDrive and it will take your permission to sync that particular folder. So this document will be completely synced. So yeah, that's pretty much is all about for Microsoft 365 groups. If you really like the content which I'm creating, please do consider subscribing my channel. And if you have any doubts, please put it down in the comment section. I would love to answer them. That's all from my end. Happy learning.